day has begun, and are you wondering how the progress of Tieu Ca's house is going? Today, let's follow along to uncover the intriguing details and see the latest developments. Stay tuned, and let's explore the unexpected twists that will unfold in this journey of building the house. That day, the sun blazed down like fire. The ground seemed to be rising in heat under the oppressive summer air. Everything around was immersed in the sweltering atmosphere, making people only want to find a cool place to rest. She, with her increasingly large belly, was struggling to work alone in the open air. She didn't mind the scorching heat. She just hoped to finish her work quickly so that she could go with Hmong to the plot of land to plant banana trees around the house they planned to build. This task, though not easy for a pregnant woman, was something she wanted to do. She wanted to spend time taking care of each banana tree, ensuring everything would be perfect as they prepared for a new life, a new family, a new home. With every stroke of the hoe, every turn of the soil, she felt a deep connection to this land, as if it were a part of the future life she would build here. While she was working diligently, she suddenly saw a familiar figure in the distance. It was Hmong, the companion who had been with her throughout this journey. He was walking towards her, his face beaming, a smile always on his lips, as if to ease the harshness of the midday sun. Hmong said nothing. He simply walked up to her, then gently took a hat and placed it on her head. He didn't say a word, but the tenderness in Hmong's eyes seemed to speak volumes. In this scorching heat, nothing could be more valuable than a hat to shield from the sun and a simple gesture of concern from someone you love. He also carefully handed her a bottle of cold water so she wouldn't lose her strength while working. She could feel the worry in Hmong's eyes, and her heart swelled with emotion. Though it was a small action to her, it was an immense display of care. The two of them sat down to rest under the shade of an old tree nearby. The atmosphere became peaceful, with only the gentle breeze blowing through, bringing a refreshing, soothing feeling. This break was truly necessary, as she couldn't always work for long hours like this. Hmong looked at her, then started talking about the search for a house. "I will try my best to find you a house with the most reasonable price that is still in the best condition," Hmong said. She looked at him for a moment, then replied, "I thank you so much. Thank you for helping my child and me with everything. Tonight, I will figure out how to repay you." Although both of them secretly loved each other, neither had said it out loud. They could only express their love through actions, showing care and attention for each other. After resting for a while, they continued working to plant the banana trees. Hmong worked tirelessly alongside her, tending to each banana tree as if it were a child they were raising together. He knew that no matter how difficult things got, these banana trees would stand as proof of their unceasing efforts. When they had finished planting the trees, the sun began to set, bringing the coolness of the late afternoon. The next day, they continued their house hunting journey. She and Hmong had planned it from early in the morning, and together they went to see a house that a local resident was selling. This was the house that Hmong had heard about from an agent for a while, and finally, they had the chance to see it in person. After traveling a long distance, Hmong and she stopped in front of an old house that was in the process of being dismantled. The house looked worn, but it still held the marks of time. The framework of the house was still sturdy, and the wooden planks were neatly stacked on the ground. Despite being under dismantling, the wood materials were still in very good condition and of high quality. She and Hung walked closer, and her eyes brightened as she looked closely at each wooden plank and the intact window frames. She gently touched one of the wooden planks, feeling its sturdiness, and realized this was an opportunity they could not miss. Looking at it, the wood still seems to be in quite good condition, Hung, she said, her eyes shining with satisfaction. If we buy this, we can definitely save a significant amount compared to buying all new materials. Hung nodded, also surveying the area. He could see the potential in this house. Although it was not brand new, with a little effort, they could completely rebuild it and turn it into the home they wanted. Furthermore, the price of this house was very reasonable, not as expensive as many other houses in the area. This was a good option. I think so too, Hung said, his voice full of determination. With such good quality wood, it can be reused, and with this price, we'll save a significant amount of costs. Moreover, if we rebuild it, the house will have its own unique character, unlike modern houses. She looked at him, her eyes full of trust and excitement. I like this idea. We'll rebuild this house and turn it into the perfect new home. Hung smiled, gently holding the hat and fanning her. They both sat down next to a large wooden plank, deciding to discuss more details before making the final decision to buy. They exchanged ideas on how to dismantle and reconstruct the house in a practical way. She suggested that they could keep the old framework of the house, only needing to repair the roof and replace the wooden parts that had been damaged by termites. Hung agreed, seeing that keeping the sturdy framework would make the work much easier and significantly reduce costs. Hung, we need to prepare everything carefully, she said. We'll need help to dismantle and transport these wooden planks. Then when we rebuild it, we must make sure to plan it carefully to ensure the house is both beautiful and sturdy. I'll take care of that, Hung replied. You just need to prepare the necessary tools for the reconstruction. I'll find people to help and arrange transportation for the wood. We'll start as soon as we can. The two of them stood up, beginning to plan and calculate the details. After a while of discussing, they decided to start dismantling the house the next day once everything was ready. Both of them felt excited and full of determination. Today, the weather was still as sweltering as every other day, but she felt something warm inside, as if love was spreading throughout her body. Hung had helped her countless times, from finding a house to those moments when she was tired and needed care. He was always there, taking care of her every little bit, making her feel truly loved and cherished. She knew that she had to do something special to show her gratitude to Hung, something simple but sincere. This morning, like usual, she woke up early, preparing for her work of buying vegetables. For many years now, this work had become second nature to her. She went to various small markets, looking for the freshest vegetables from the farmers. Every morning, she would wake up early, preparing everything neatly to go out and buy. Today, like any other day, she stepped out of the house with a small basket of money and her old bicycle, starting her familiar journey. The trip to buy vegetables went quite smoothly today. She found a lot of fresh produce, ripe tomatoes, shiny potatoes, and lush green bunches of vegetables. Everything was of high quality, and the prices were also very reasonable. She felt happy because the buying process today would bring her a good profit. After finishing her purchases, she went to the market to sell the goods. The market wasn't too crowded, but it was still busy enough for her to sell all the vegetables she brought. Everyone at the market knew her because she had been doing this work for a long time. They always trusted the quality of the products she sold, so her sales went smoothly today. She skillfully arranged the vegetables to make them look appealing, drawing the attention of customers. Everything went well, and she quickly sold out all the produce she had brought. Once she had sold all her goods, she looked at the money she had earned and smiled contentedly. The work for the day was over, but an idea suddenly popped into her mind. Today, she would set aside some of the money to buy a bit more eggplant to make pickled eggplant, a dish that Hung really liked. She remembered the times they had shared pickled eggplant together, and Hung always praised how delicious it was, saying it was a simple dish but full of rich flavors. It had been a while since she made this dish, and she thought that if she made it today, Hung would be very happy. She also thought that it would be a way to show her care and gratitude toward him, a small but meaningful gift. With the leftover eggplant from yesterday's harvest, she returned home, took out some clean glass jars, and prepared the pickling recipe she always used. She washed the eggplants, cut them into even slices, and then mixed them with salt, garlic, and chili according to the ratio she was used to. The aroma of the eggplant and spices filled the air, making her feel close and at peace. She carefully placed the eggplant into each jar, poured in the brine, and then tightly sealed the jars so the flavors could soak in. Making the pickled eggplant was a meticulous process, but she didn't feel it was tiring. Every time she cut a slice of eggplant, she thought about the memories with Hung, the days they went to buy vegetables together, the times they sat and ate meals together, and the evenings when they talked about life. All those moments made her appreciate Hung even more, and she wanted to express that gratitude through a tangible act. When the pickled eggplant was done, she placed the jars in a corner of the house to rest, waiting until tomorrow when the flavors would fully absorb. She smiled at the thought of his reaction when he received the pickled eggplant. Though it was a simple dish, to her it was a way of showing that she was always thinking about him, always wanting to do small things so he could feel the love and care she had for him.
Để con gái có một cuộc sống tốt đẹp hơn, được đến trường như bao bạn bè cùng trang lứa, được vui chơi trong một môi trường đầy ắp tiếng cười và có cơ hội phát triển, Tieu Ca đã lựa chọn từ bỏ điều quý giá nhất của mình, ngôi nhà cũ kỹ, mảnh đất chan chứa kỷ niệm, nơi hai mẹ con từng vượt qua biết bao tháng ngày cơ cực, thiếu thốn nhưng đầy ắp tình thương. Không dễ dàng để đưa ra quyết định đó, bởi với cô, ngôi nhà ấy không chỉ là nơi trú ngụ mà là nơi cất giữ tuổi trẻ, cả những giấc mơ đang dang dở, cả những đêm dài ôm con trong vòng tay lặng lẽ nuốt nước mắt vào trong. Nhưng vì Tieu Han, vì tương lai của con, cô đã dũng cảm buông tay, sẵn sàng đánh đổi tất cả chỉ để con gái được bước sang một trang mới, nơi có ánh sáng, có tri thức, có nhiều hy vọng hơn. Căn nhà đã được bán, một hành trình mới sẽ bắt đầu. Liệu cuộc sống mới của hai mẹ con sẽ tươi sáng như cô Hằng mong ước, hay là còn nhiều gian nan vất vả ở phía trước? Hãy cùng đón xem các tập tiếp theo để theo dõi hành trình đầy cảm xúc của mẹ con Tieu Han, nơi tình mẫu tử là ngọn đèn dẫn đường thay đổi cuộc sống của cô.